Mary Ann, if Gordon really loved you, he would have postponed his surgery.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home Red State Update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, welcome to Red State Update. My name's Jackie Brawls.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap. I'm your friend. No matter what anybody else tries to tell you, it's me and you. Together, forever. I've got your back, and I won't let you down. Welcome to the Red State Update podcast. This is
all that goes for me, too. All that goes for me, too. Well, you ain't the only one to sit there. You're there for them on and go on like that. Give me a minute to do that. Yes, I anything I can do to help, got your back.
Mm-hmm. It just would have meant more if you had done it before I did it, but
well,
I guess
I assume people already know that. They wouldn't be listening otherwise. But you to go on and on about it and not say nothing about me, I figure I should just, get in there and say something.
No, I was just reaffirming how I feel about our listeners and letting them know that I'll be there for them in a pinch. Like the song, what is it? You're a Friend of Mine. That they got Bruce Springsteen wouldn't do it for his friend. But they got Jackson Browne to do it instead.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? That song, You're a Friend of Mine from the 80s?
No.
You don't know. Do you know a lot about Bruce Springsteen?
I know he, dance around in blue jeans. That's about it.
Well, he was friends with Clarence Clemens, but I guess not good enough friends to do a song called You're a Friend of Mine. And he's
a friend of who?
Clarence Clemens, big man.
Man, who is he?
So instead, he had to do that song with Jackson Browne. So I guess if somebody called
Jackson Browne running on empty. I know him, yeah. Lawyers in Love. Remember Lawyers in Love?
This is because of Forrest Gump.
Huh?
You got the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
When he's running, that's the song it plays. Running on empty.
Mm-hmm. And then when he becomes a lawyer, it's
Lawyers in Love.
Lawyers in Love.
He didn't know the lady had, didn't know she was sick. And,
Wait, is that Legal Eagles?
Who's in that one?
Folks, welcome to Ready Player 2 podcast starring Jackie Brawls and your friend Dunlap. And I just want to say, though, I do want to reiterate that I'm your friend and that Jackie's just sort of a Jackie come lately when it comes to friendship. And
all right, you were sitting there boasting. I thought, well, if you're going to sit there and say that, you might as well say same about me is all I'm saying. You just showing off.
We'll see who they believe when they need somebody in their corner.
Right.
Folks, listen to all this good news we can start talking to about. I'll be honest. We got on here on Sunday and we were going to try to do a podcast and everything we did just sounded like screeching and yelling and hollering. We were mad at this, mad at that. I was confused, sort of tired. I forgot we were doing a podcast at one point and just got up to make a sandwich. It wasn't our finest hour. We tried a couple times and we're like, you know what? Let's just see what happens in a couple of days, see how we're feeling. I got to say, I feel a little better. There's vaccines on trucks going in people's arms.
Yep.
Trump, Mitch McConnell said that Biden is okay. Normally I wouldn't say, here's something that makes me feel good. Mitch McConnell, whatever else I'm going to say, wouldn't normally be something I'd say. And then Joe Biden is president. If you'd said, I don't know, 3 years ago. Well, no, it'd have to be before Trump. But even after Trump for a little while, just saying, hey, you know what? You're going to feel real good in December 2020 when Joe Biden is president-elect. Be like, that's what happens?
I think some of us need to think. I mean, if you're a history buff or likely to learn about politics, I don't like to thank Trump for nothing. There's nothing he does, but I guess thank you for warp speed and the vaccine. Let's do that. I'm sure he's the one that sat down and decided exactly how to do it and how many trucks are going to need. No, wait a minute. He just turned them down when they wanted to make more vaccine. He said, no, we don't need that. That's what he did with that. But besides that, he is teaching us about democracy, how the system works. For instance, I didn't know a president could lose 8 or 9 times in a row. That's the first time, I guess, that I was aware that a president, I've talked about Trump, just lose and lose and lose again. The recounts go to this, electoral votes. Then January 6th come around, he's going to lose again. So I'm saying, good for him. At least it's a learning lesson for a lot of some people. It ain't. Some people just mad, go outside with a knife or a gun or whatever, holler, go somewhere, get mad as hell, burn something up. But most people, I hope, are learning something from this. Yeah,
and they really do need to start civics classes again, because I did not know there was this many chances to steal an election.
Nor did I.
I mean, we would get excited and clap and holler every time that Trump lost, but I know he lost sometimes and we didn't even know about it.
Sure.
Some of them got past us.
Yeah. I could have had a drink, a celebratory swig on that day too. I've lost count. It's 8 or 9 times. I don't know. He won Georgia at least 3 or 4 times. And some of the other states, Pennsylvania, keep winning. So, yeah, I didn't know. I'm learning. Well, good for Mitch McConnell. Good for him. I'm coming around. Ain't
him on a phone call begging the craziest people to not challenge the Electoral College. First of all, why is this not it? Should this not be it? Why is there like another thing that we have to wait for?
For him to lose? Why not?
For him to lose one more time. I can't.
Let him do it. Who cares? I don't care anymore.
Now they're going to stand up Mo Brooks. Who's Mo Brooks? I keep thinking, I'm like, no, that's Mo Bandy. But Mo Brooks, I guess, is doing a whole thing. What does he want to be? President? Just on a battle flag of the next Civil War? Like, what does he want to be? What does Mo Brooks want out of all this? Trump to like him?
That's one thing about Trump is a bad thing. All these crazy people now think, well, hell, I can be president. People never before ever occurred to them, I could do that.
People used to think they had to achieve something, but now all they need is an inflated sense of self-worth.
Yeah, check.
Sort of a view of reality that's tentative at best. A feeling that everybody's out to get you.
Victim, got to be a big poor
victim.
Poor baby victim. Got to be that. It ain't gonna work unless you crying whining all the time. Yeah.
So yeah, whoever Mo Brooks is, he's really going. He's going to the mat on this. Even though Mitch McConnell in there go, oh, please don't do it, don't do it. However he talks, I can't do it.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Please don't do it. And we do keep saying that the Republicans have created a monster, a mob monster, a monster of mobs, but they're still the backup muscle to the Republicans, even though a lot of them are turning on the Republicans. True. They're saying they're going to vote out, don't vote in Georgia, vote out Kemp, primary Kemp, put Kemp in jail. Now Trump's retweeting people saying,
yeah, going to put you in jail unless you get rid of people's votes. I'm going to put you in jail. Unless you break the law, he ain't going to put him in jail. I don't think so.
How would he do that? He has no power.
No. And be honest, I wouldn't mind. If it's for like a weekend or something, then sure, put Kemp in the jail for a weekend. I'll tolerate that. That's okay. I think a lot of politicians should have weekend jail. But he don't deserve being there for a long time. I mean, he kissed up to Trump as much as he could. He just couldn't change the number of people that voted for him. He tried real hard, but, you're out of luck.
Mo Brooks is probably ahead of the game here, and it's what worries me in that he is a Republican who has decided, all right, I want to be on the side that the angry mobs with the guns is for, that they look to as a leader and not someone to put in jail or run out of town on the rail or physically harm. I mean, they're calling now, we got to get rid of McConnell. McConnell, man, he's ruining everything for us.
I heard Mark Levine, is how you say his name, Crazy Mark Levine. That's
sure.
His name. He got on that.
Crazy first, then people know who you're talking about.
Okay, Crazy Mark Levine, radio man, whatever, crazy one of them. He said that Mitch McConnell has been in office for far too long, doing nothing, destroying this country, taking it apart, and this is a Republican. I think, is it just, crazy usually counts for Republican nowadays, but I don't know officially what he is, but I think obviously Trump, whatever that is.
I tell you what, they will miss McConnell when he's gone. Who's going to pass bills keeping people from getting $1,200 and instead making it so that you can't sue McDonald's when they slap you in the face with a COVID-infected bun?
They said they ain't leaving. They're all going to stay there. Congress ain't going nowhere till they get together and plan this out, get this stimulus thing going. They're there till it happens. Well, they won't go home for anyway. Most of those people's states are run over with COVID. I'm going to stay. You ain't going nowhere. I'm not going home. You don't want to go home and get sick?
Well, the White House, they just had a Christmas party.
Just as bad as everywhere else, yeah.
Was a Hanukkah party? Both, they roll them up into one. Nobody wearing a mask. You think Dave Ramsey was president?
Don't give anybody any ideas on that, especially Dave Ramsey.
Throw a party. If you happen to run into having enough money in your life to where you can throw a party for 1,000 of your employees to where they have to prove their loyalty to you by coming in and not wearing a mask or staying home and missing out on an open bar, then go do that because it makes you feel very powerful and cut up your credit cards.
That's pretty good. That's good.
I had to cough. I put it on mute. That's one thing you can do on this Zoom. Oh, look, good cough. But wait, I'm going to mute. I left a little in at the end. Sorry. Cut up your credit.
Have I got the power from the computer I'm setting up to make you shut up? You telling me I can do that this whole time? I can click a button and not hear half of it?
Maybe I can make you shut up.
Fine, go on, make me shut up if you're gonna be like that. I ain't the one sitting saying using bad language and all that. You're doing pretty good so far. I shouldn't say nothing. Now I said it, I ruined it. It's over with now. Shouldn't open my damn mouth.
Bill Barr's gone, Jackie.
Oh yeah, Bill Barr. I
guess he's still there, but what's he doing?
And he was. I guess ever since the election, he ain't doing it as good enough anymore. But pretty much his own. I thought his whole job was just to cover the president's rear end. Just cover his. 24/7.
What happened here? What was the line for Bill Barr? Was it the election? I guess that's.
But why would that be?
I don't know.
After all the laws he broke and after all the risk he's taking to his, he don't want to go to jail. He like anybody else. He don't want to go to jail. He don't want, they mentioned about disbarring him and everything else. He's going to be dealing with that, even whether he's working there or not. But of all the risks you took and the trouble that you brought upon yourself that you're going to, I don't know whether you withstand it or not. We'll see. why do you go that extra mile right at the damn end? You went all the way. You took a baton, went all the way. One more step, and you'd have done it all. But what the hell happened? Did it take that long to get sick as hell of Trump?
I took a long look at myself in the mirror, and I said two things. I said, Jesus. And then I said, I look like liver pate. And then I said, I think he's gone too far this time. I've been in a coma. A lot of people don't know this. I was in a coma for 30 years. Some of my closest friends, and I just thought this was a gag on ever since I come out of it. I thought they were pulling a trick on me. And I was like, I'm not going to be the one to break. Like, I just thought, well, this is elaborate but funny. I don't know how you get to the point where you think that Trump has gone too far if you never thought that before. That's the thing. Like, he had to come in as Attorney General thinking, okay, I can work with this. But he had to I feel like he had to jump in with both feet and just be like, yes, I'm just rolling along with the president here. The president has unlimited power. I'm here to help him out. And then at some point, something changed his mind, and I can't figure out what that could be, because I can't figure that all along he was going, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. I feel like he had to be like rowing the boat, not just like sitting back in it. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know what.
He was already saying before the election, he was helping the president out. He was sitting up there going, oh, there's going to be so much fraud. Going to be all that fraud. He got up in front of Congress, said it on TV everywhere he could, helping the president as usual, doing what he's supposed to do. Hell, I thought it was, we all, after the election is over, he was going to look into it. Remember that? Everybody go, here we go. We're going to look into it. But then he looked into it and said, no, everything's fine.
Did he get Scrooged like a Christmas Carol? Did he get visited by?
What ghost would come say Bill Barr in bed?
Daddy Bush, maybe.
Maybe. He'd be ashamed of him. You're right. He'd come back. What the hell happened to y'all?
This guy's crazy. I can't do. I tried to do Dan Carvey a little bit, but I can't.
You're doing. I'm going to say later on at some point, I want to hear Dave Ramsey and Bill Barr have a conversation. That'd be good.
Well,
maybe you can do that on 20 extra minutes for us. I don't know what it'd be.
I just can't. I can't. Nobody's hiring me. I've got a pretty impressive resume. Well, have you thought of? I can't do it. He should be delivering pizzas. He should be coming up to the house with a pizza, so that he can pay off his credit cards, because nobody will hire him. But that's not true. That's our fantasy world where Bill Barr can't get hired. Now, yes, now that he has gone against Trump, I think he's going to be welcomed back into milquetoast Mitt Romney Republican land. People will be like, oh, yeah, Barr, remember, he's a hero. Now, everybody on the left side ain't going to hire him because that traitor, everything he did to, shit on democracy. But I think he did just enough to, land a job at a law firm or a university or something.
Well, Laura Ingraham was talking him up, which a lot of people were surprised about. She's on Fox saying, and I listen here, Bill Barr did a lot of good. And I think followed that saying that, cover it up for the president. You can't get mad at him for this one thing. So maybe Fox is where he's headed. That sounds about right.
Who would watch that?
I can barely watch it when they question him. I can't watch him do anything.
I don't think you can put him on TV. I do not think that he is somebody who hosts a show. Maybe radio.
Radio might work, but hell, you could do that.
So Barr's gone, so that's good, I think, unless
if you want a good laugh, go read the letter, his resignation letter, which he don't really mention getting fired until toward the end, or quitting or whatever. That's a pretty good one. That's just straight up North Korea craziness. He didn't write that. Who do you think wrote that? Kevin, what's his name in the House?
And some poor kid. who wants to grow up and be Bill Barr.
Tell Barr he's fired and get what's his name to write me up a nice letter I can read to everybody. Barr, I don't know if he's fired. He could have quit. That's what I think happened with them. You're going to fire you. No, I'm going to quit. I'm going to fire you. And they both kind of worked out, however you want to look at it.
I hope did he ever get coronavirus? We don't know.
I was about to ask you the same thing. I seriously was. Did he get COVID? He was gone. He was disappeared for long. I can't keep up with how many of them got sick because all of them got it at one time or another. I can't remember if he was one of them. I'm sure he was scared to death if he got it, but then he saw Chris Christie got through it. Like, oh, hell, I got a chance anyway.
Yeah, it'd be hard to tell Bill Barr. It looks like his blood circulates through his body like once a year. Bill Barr looks like, damn, how would you tell if something was wrong with Bill Barr? You take his temperature, it's like 46 degrees. But he's sweating through his jacket. I don't know. That was a doctor talking to a nurse.
Oh, yeah. You don't know them as
other impression. Well, let me work. Like, I don't know who's who.
I'm serious. Just stick with Dave Ramsey and Bill Barr. You don't need to go do doctors and nurses. That's all you need. That's a career right there.
They're
Bill
heroes.
Barr and Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Just the fact that they were having a big, folks, if you don't know Dave Ramsey, he hosts the Jesus Money show, basically. He tells you cut up your credit cards, and then he tells you to, tells you what Jesus thinks you should tithe.
Which usually is he also tells you to go deliver pizzas, right? Jesus,
you have to have 3 jobs on top of to make it, but that's what Jesus wants, and then everything's going to work out. Then he's going to enroll you in his school for free or whatever. I heard him one day. We may have told this story on here. I heard a Dave Ramsey, and I heard him say, "You remember? You know how you ever wake up and you're still so drunk you can't get up and turn the radio?" So I heard Dave Ramsey, and he was saying. He was talking about tipping, and I thought, well, here we go. He's going to say, fuck them.
Hey.
But he didn't. He was like, always tip. Don't go out to eat if you can't afford a nice tip. Don't go stay in a hotel if you can't afford to tip the damn housekeeping staff. And I thought that was surprising coming from Dave Ramsey because I thought that he was going to say, don't give nobody nothing. So he did say that, and I think that's probably where part of this big, lavish Christmas party he throws for his employees come from. But of course it is a trap where you got to come in, not wear a mask, and like the vendors were encouraged to not wear a mask. I think they say that's not true, but come on. And I think that they were trying to have some big event. He's been making everybody come into the office so you can't work from home at this Jesus Money place, and you can't. They were going to have some big event where people paid all this money, and they were going to have it in Florida, and the hotel encouraged people to wear masks. Like, so people would be walking through, and Dave Ramsey on his radio show says that wear masks is a sign of fear, all that same old bullshit. And then, he said he didn't want some $8 an hour twerp coming up to his guests who paid $15,000 come to this conference or whatever, hassling them to put on a mask. So people contain multitudes. They can be, as in this case, maybe 90% asshole and 10% leave a nice tip. But also with that tip may come him, I asked for ice like 30 minutes ago, and I don't know why. Just running them back and forth the kitchen. I don't know how often he asked for fresh bread so that you can get that good tip. Because also he's paranoid, and there's lots of articles about, I think the Nashville Scene has run articles about the paranoia and how he's always afraid that some of his stories are going to get out in the news. Dave Ramsey, fascinating. I don't like what's happening to Nashville where all these people, Dave Ramsey's been there for years. I think he was born in Antioch, so they're out in Franklin. But all these people like Ben Shapiro and Tammy Lauren and all these people moving these smart, dumb people who think they're thought leaders, but they're really just like the Like, I'd rather just talk to a dumb person. Like, shit, I don't know. I'm going to vote for Trump. What the fuck do I know?
Hey.
Then somebody start a podcast about it. Because anyway, I don't like something weird's happening in Nashville, eating out people's ass.
All right.
A political statement. It just feels like there's just a lot of stupidity as political statement, which I don't like Nashville becoming the epicenter of that. Like killing Charley Pride at the CMAs with COVID. I don't think that's a good direction. That's not a direction for Nashville to lean into. Like an unmasked suing everybody for not being able to go eat ass out at Tootsie's on the damn Broadway so you can pedal Barr. I don't like it. I don't like something's happening, and Jackie, we need to get ahead of it, because that's not what the Athens of the South is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be Ben Shapiro eating somebody's ass out.
All right. I've had enough of it. I don't want to hear it.
Me too.
I do want to say rest in peace, Charley Pride. Great voice, great songs, a great country artist. Hate to lose him. I didn't even know they said, because, I'm staying down here. I don't keep up with award shows no how. And they said, it passed away from COVID, which, complications that it was. I know he's up there in age too, but still. Then I come to find out, you told me done like me. Well, they're saying that he got it at the CMA. Like, they had the CMAs? Of course they did. It's Tennessee. Why, absolutely. Of course they did.
We don't need to be the worst.
Tennessee's awful. They just said that the most ratio to people with COVID in the whole world, not just here in the country.
Yeah, number one COVID hotspot in the world right now is Tennessee.
What has happened?
We don't have to be the worst, people. That's why we've got Alabama. That's why we got Mississippi. That's why we've got Arkansas. Sorry, Guy Lancaster. Sorry, Tommy Cash. I'm just saying that
Florida. I don't even want to be mentioned in the same breath as him.
Why we got to bash the South? What about fucking Iowa?
Oh, yeah.
Kansas.
Sure.
I could go on and on. We don't have to be the worst. We could be the best.
Yeah. In the world, not just this country, in the damn world, Tennessee. Don't you know any better? Hell.
So CMAs did put out a statement denying that they killed Charley Pride, as I think most people would. I mean, they didn't put out a statement saying, yeah, you know what? I think he did get it here. Shit. They said, no, he tested negative after he got home.
They had an award show, and I know there's other award shows. Trust me, I know every industry loves to give out awards. There's plenty of these awards on TV where you just come on the thing and say, thank you. You doing it from your house. You don't have to go there. I seriously didn't believe you when you told me. They said, no, they had them, the people in the audience. They were all up on stage. Now the show was wearing a mask on. What the hell?
And they give him a Lifetime Achievement Award, which he probably should have got, a few decades ago.
Yeah.
And they brought him out to show that they're not racist, like they have been doing for decades. Charley Pride, hugely successful, one of the great country artists ever. Rest in peace. Sorry. I'm apologizing to Charley Pride for everything he went through. I didn't know. It is crazy. Y'all got to listen to on Apple Music. There's a show called Color Me Country. Risha Palmer, and then on Twitter, Andrea Will Write. I think it's her account. There's people talking about. I thought, this is ignorant, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but I really just thought, growing up, that Charley Pride was the only black person who wanted to be a country singer. I was like, oh, thank God they found him. Not true. There is a as with many things, there is a system in place. You have to rethink. You got to rethink country music. We have to rethink country music, Jackie.
I was already doing that even before the racial connotations, just equality-wise. But yes, we do have a lot of things to rethink in this country, and country music sure needs to be one of them, yeah.
There were some tweets going around where white people were tweeting things like, "Oh, my granny, she was always a little racist, but she always loved Charley Pride."
Yeah.
And people were saying a little racist, and I feel bad to tell people who were offended by this how often people's white families use Charley Pride to prove that their grannies wasn't racist. I wish it was just that one woman on Twitter. I'm not saying it's good or that we shouldn't be ashamed. I'm just saying it is really, white people like to let people do things. So like, oh, we let Charley Pride in. He's good. I mean, I don't know the rules of the Klan, but I assume they can listen to rap if they want to, or Motown or Beyonce. You just take the thing from the people that you want, and you just leave the rest of it behind. So, like, white people just like to tell black people what to do. That includes being country singers. I will let you be a country singer, Hootie. I will let you be in charge of HUD. I will let you run for president, whatever. But don't forget who let you do this.
Don't forget who gave you a Lifetime Achievement Award and probably gave you COVID. Pitiful. He was a great talent for whatever reasons, positions he got in. There should, I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure there's plenty of black people who didn't have an opportunity to do as well as him.
Yeah, and the stuff that he had to put up with, and
I can't imagine. I cannot
with
imagine.
Good humor and good nature.
Sure.
Yeah, and real good. Also, just real good. All that music's real good. All that
real good. Yeah.
Music's real good.
Wonderful voice. Yes.
Sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charley Pride. Hey, but what else is bad? Charley Pride died. Well, we started off with good.
Oh,
vaccine.
Charley Pride. Yeah.
So it started off good. Bill Barr's gone. Charley Pride's gone.
Tennessee having the highest COVID. The COVID.
See, now we're bad. COVID is bad. Charley Pride is bad.
It's bad everywhere, but in Tennessee right now, Tennessee's leading the charge with as many people get COVID. It's pitiful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a flip side to all of it. The vaccine, people ain't going to take it. They need to get, I'm not opposed to letting everybody in the Trump White House get the vaccine. I know it seems like a waste. And I know that they're executing everybody they can before they leave office. I know all the terrible things. I'm just saying, like, if it helps dumb people feel better about getting a shot so that I can go see the Eternals, then yes, let's get Kaylee McKaylee a shot.
You let Trump have, and the administration, we know Trump, again, there's so many things he did awful, it's hard to give him any credit whatsoever concerning this virus, because he's a big part of the reason we're in the situation that we're in with it. He's probably the biggest part of it, other than the virus itself spreading as well as it does. But let him have the credit on this. I'm serious. Let him have, I did Warp Speed. I did every bit of it. It was me, even though I turned him down to get some more of it when I had the chance. I turned him down. But regardless of that, let him go on TV, get a shot in front of everybody. Please do. Because, again, all he had to do to say at the beginning of it is, we're going to have to wear a mask for a while. They would have done it. You'd have a few crazy people, but the majority of them would have done it. Wouldn't be have the body count that we have now, which is past 300,000 people. You're going to get worse between now and January. Let him have a credit. Go on TV, get you a shot. Look, see what I did? Now you go do it. Please, good Lord, let him do that. I bet he won't.
Yeah, well, I feel like him getting a shot makes him feel like he's weak.
Yeah, and I already have it. I don't need a shot. I mean, just like, I ain't going to go on in front of nobody get a shot. I mean, he ain't going to do it. Pence is going to do it, sure. What kind of influence is Pence on? Maybe a few people, some of the extra churchy people, but most of them, no, that ain't going to make a damn difference what Pence does.
If you're wondering if racist Jesus is against the vaccine and then you see Pence get it, then you probably are, okay, I can roll with this.
Yeah. It'll help a few people, yeah.
How would Trump get it? Is he going to roll up his sleeve? He doesn't want to see what color his arms are. He doesn't want to see, he doesn't want us to make out a tone on the flesh of his.
Now you're saying it that way. I don't want to know. Don't want to see it anyhow, but he needs to do it. But give it to Biden, because I know they're going to get it anyway. The reason I'm saying give it to Biden before he gets sick is age. He needs a damn shot. One or two of them, however many you get.
They need to. You know, people are like, oh, I'd love to travel, but I don't want to stay I want to drive down and see Granny. You know, none of these are good ideas. But I don't want to stay in a hotel. People are scared to stay in a hotel. Imagine Biden getting to the White House. A hotel is worse than there's no hotel in America or the world where as many people with COVID have been as there are as the White House. The White House has been full of people like a bunch of when was it people tried to squeeze into phone booths? Remember that? College kids? I guess it's before they'd invented fucking and you just had to go out and try to squeeze as many people as you could in the phone booth. You remember when that happened? And now that's like COVID. How many people with COVID can we fit in the White House?
They all been there.
It's either like how many Nazis can we get in here, or how many people with COVID? It's like alternating weekends, just squeezing them in there. Biden's going to walk in there, and you better have a wheelchair ready for him because he's just going to pass right out.
Give him a shot.
Strong enough to make it through. I don't know what kind of ventilation system in there. I don't know who installed it, like Warren G. Harding. You need to get somebody in there to Lysol that shit and wipe it down with some wipes. Get the damn Swiffer wet jet out. You're going to have to clean that White House. Yeah. You vacuum that shit.
I heard this real, too. They're going to have the normal people that do it, whoever it is that, cleans the White House. After they get done, they said the administration, Harris administration, they're going to actually hire outsource, the service to come and clean it after that. Like, that ain't enough. They smart. They right. I mean, that getting started in the White House, if that's the first thing you do is get the best, wiper down or whatever you want to call them, get them in that White House because they're sure going to need it. Good Lord.
Couldn't he just work out of that place at the hospital where Trump was? Why can't he be in that? That didn't look like, I don't even know what that was. Was that real? That all seems like a dream.
He don't care about living in the White House that much. He's used to it. He's 70-something years old, been a senator for 50. He's been in that White House back and forth so many times. He ain't got to be in there. Let him do it wherever he wants to.
That's true. He wouldn't know how to be someplace that don't smell musty.
Hey there, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. This is Jackie Bros still on here.
Folks, people, this is Dunlap. I'm there when you need me, like a good neighbor.
State Farm, yeah. That's your insurance, remember? Old commercial. That's what I think. YouTube, yeah, we used to be on it years ago, but the good thing about YouTube, you can find almost any old commercial on there and just bring back memories. But yeah, it's like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Remember that? Well, yeah, of course you do. You just said it.
Well, I was talking about myself and how close I am with our listeners.
Yeah.
What's your favorite old commercial, though, would you say?
Oh, I like what was it when the Irish Spring, remember? They being a shower and they cut it. I like it. I've always liked knives. I've never been a gun person. I've been more a knife person. And you don't see a whole lot of knives.
The thing you like about the Irish Spring commercial is the knife.
Well, they get cut into the soap to show you that it's green on the inside. Which honestly, no, nothing against the commercial because like I said, I like a knife about it, and I like Irish songs or whatever. That's fine. But I would have never questioned that the soap was green on the inside. That was never an issue with me about purchasing that particular soap. I mean, I thank you for showing me, but I just assume the soap is the same color all the way through. All soap is, isn't it?
Maybe there was a thing back then that you buy blue soap or whatever, you get it home and you get in the bath and that blue just comes right off. You're like, well, what in the fuck did I even buy this for?
No, Irish Spring was green on the outside, inside, all around it. Yeah, only other soap I remember popular back then when people get that microphone soap around the same time. That was real popular, but it didn't have a good smell to me.
What's your favorite soap, would you say, if you had to name your favorite soap?
It's either probably Ivory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Ivory one for sensitive skins. You get older, you get lots of skin problems. You just, some soap are rough on it. I used to use Irish Spring, but I don't know more. Ivory soap, I guess.
Hey, this is they cut into the soap and they'd show the soap's striped cross section.
Well, it looks, either whatever it is, it looks the same as it does on the outside, right? It's green.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they got any big surprises in there.
Well, that's one commercial. You can see that. And plus, for the ladies, y'all can see the men all. I mean, don't show everything, but always a muscle man in the shower cleaning himself. So, men too, if that's your preference, whatever, whoever likes that can watch it. It's on there.
I just clicked on the Irish Spring commercial as a woman taking a shower in a bush.
Well, yeah, women use it too, yeah. Men usually used to use it in the old ones because they whistle.
So, yeah, that's Irish Spring. So, folks, if you like listening to us talk pointlessly about old commercials and soap, then you're going to want to head over to patreon.com. That's a Red State Update patreon.com/. Just look up Patreon Red State Update. Get over there, and that's where you're going to want to give us all that good $5 you got, because if you give us $5 or more, you get to hear us talk pointlessly about old commercials and soap or similar every week. That's an extra 20 minutes with Jackie and Dunlap. That's yours. A brand new also podcast every week. Patreon.com/RedStateUpdate.com. And you're going to want to get over there and slip aside of some of that money. We'll take any amount of money you want to give us. We appreciate the money givers. We appreciate the free listeners. We appreciate everybody. Our hearts are full of Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. It's
Did
almost Christmas now.
Shit.
I
gotta get you something.
I don't need nothing. I'm fine. I don't want nothing.
Did you like it that time? Okay, you remember when I went to McDonald's and I just called you from the drive-thru and said, I'm on my way to the mall. I'm going to get you. And I don't need nothing. Don't give me nothing. I said, how about I just bring some of this McDonald's over? I said, no, you sound drunk. Don't come over here. Don't do nothing. I said, all right. Did you like that year?
No.
I could do that again.
No. You call and wake me up. I don't care what year it is, what month, what day. It don't matter. It's a time on that one that I don't like. Don't call me late at night. I'm in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
If you want to get out of getting Jackie a present, call him 2, 3 in the morning. Say, I'm on my way to 24-hour Walmart.
No.
Don't get me nothing. Don't get me nothing. I'm hanging up. Okay, but you said it.
I don't want nothing.
I'd be like,
want nothing.
I got Choobie here as a witness. Choobie, you heard him, didn't you? And Choobie, oh, that's a pretty good Choobie.
No.
Now I can do Dave Ramsey, Bill Barr, and Choobie.
Oh, that's what you have in store for today's extra 20 minutes.
Choobie, too.
Yes, sir. That's him. That does sound like him.
He's somebody good to have riding with you.
Well, he on drugs. As long as he ain't driving, he can ride with you, but he's always on drugs. He's drinking, too, but he does more drugs than the drinking. He drinks, sure. He's drunk, yes, but the drugs are what's mainly, doing whatever he's saying or doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a good riding partner, not a good, you don't get in the car with him behind the wheel. But
hell no.
if you want somebody to ride along with you and just laugh at everything you say like a goddamn idiot.
Well, I remember that time we gave him a ride up to the rehab thing in Nashville. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He had to go in there, and Mama, she said, "I deal with him enough. Will you drive him up there?" And of course, we told him we were taking him to some, what was it? We lied to him, said we're taking to some party or something big or something like that. There's the only way you get him up there. And he laughed the whole time. He got out, went in, and the nurse was there. Of course, I guess he saw the nurse and thought medicine, more drugs or whatever. But yeah, he stayed there for at least 2 or 3 weeks, didn't he, before he got out.
And we went and pick him up, too.
Well, what are you going to do? I don't go leave him out in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
We did feel responsible.
Well,
you say you stayed there 2 or 3 weeks. How long are you supposed to stay there? I mean, that was a good run. That's a good run if you go into a rehab in 2 or 3 weeks. That ain't like...
Well, that's almost like Attorney General Bill Barr. He's supposed to be there for a month. I think he's supposed to stay there for a whole month. You go 3 weeks. Why not do that one? Maybe that last week is what it takes. I don't know.
I don't know either, because he seemed exactly the same on the way out as he did on the way in.
Yeah.
Just everything was funny, and like, what was it like in there? I mean, I thought he was fucked up then, but he wasn't. Hey, but then later that night he was, and then I picked him up, rode him around, and honest to God, I don't know. Maybe he did need that extra week, because exact same.
Well, I think other people have had to make that drive with him and pick him up more than a few times. So I hope he's doing all right these days. Certainly over holidays, Christmas.
He'll go anywhere with you now. Like, I don't think you'd even have to trick him.
No.
Like, we're going to a party. Like so anybody else be like, what? A party? Where? He was like, okay. And he'd get in the car.
We told her we were taking him to General Jackson. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
It was General Jackson New Year.
Like party.
No, it was New Year's. We're going to count down New Year's, remember?
And then he got on there, and
this is in May, by the way, but he don't know the difference. It don't matter. He didn't care when it was, but he thought General Jackson, that'd be fireworks, countdown. Yeah.
Well, another thing about if you're in Nashville, I feel like there's a lot of people who just never been on the General Jackson, so you don't know how you get on the General Jackson. Is there a boardwalk? You got to get in a little like dinghy to row out to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
did it happen downtown Nashville, Opryland? Shit, I don't know that river. So if you walk into a medical facility with a bunch of nurses, maybe that's how you get on the General Jackson. I don't know. Somebody told me we're going to General Jackson. I walk in as a nurse. I'd be like, "Where's the gangplank?" How am I supposed to know that, hey, the General Jackson? They just told me. What, two old boys rode me up here. They lied to me the whole way about going to General Jackson. Why the fuck would they do that?
Hey. Now, it's all coming to me now. I remember when we went and picked him up, he said, why didn't you stay the other week? He said, I seasick.
That's right. That's right. He said he just couldn't take it no more. He said I was...
The water would never calm. It was just
choppy.
Yeah, choppy.
The whole time, choppy. I had to hang my head over the whole time. I was just throwing up, hanging my head over the rail. People said, "Man, you still sick?" Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was sick, but it wasn't good due to that. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense. So the whole time he said, Shotgun Red's funnier in person than on TV. Taller too. He was. He's like a dog. He'll go anywhere with you now, and you don't have to make a story up. He's happy to be in a car, not a boat.
Well, I'm glad we got him all worked out. Maybe you get to hear a little more from him on the extra 20 minutes a day. We'll see. May have a few more stories now that I'm remembering them more than I did to begin with.
He's alive, right? I haven't heard.
He's alive,
him.
yeah. Okay. Only I think because we all shut in, we don't know, can't keep up everybody.
That's true. Right? I don't know who's dead and who's alive. Tennessee, number one in the world right now.
Yeah, number one.
I don't want y'all to think we're making a lot of this because it's irresponsible. People should be held to account. It's fucking.
Hey. Well, that is something to cuss about. No, we're mad. We're mad that our home state is in the shape it's in for no other reason than people just being ignorant. I can't think of any other reason. And it's just getting worse and worse. We hate that. Yeah, we ain't joking around talking about it. Hopefully somebody, lives in Tennessee, listens, and they hear me and you talking about it. Maybe they put on a damn mask or whatever it is they got to do. Shameful. Well, you can hear more about it, though, on Extra 20 Minutes, but right now, as much as we appreciate the support that y'all give us, that $5 a month helps us keep the computers going, everything plugged up, but we always need a little extra, like everybody these days. Everybody needs a little extra. A lot of people need an extra. I hope Mitch McConnell, I know he don't listen to this, but somebody tell him people need a lot of extra right now. Lord knows. But our extra comes from local sponsors here, local sponsors in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And I tell you what, I got a good, I'm going to say a good sponsor this week. I don't even know how to thank Todd enough, and he thanked me, and I thank him. You remember Todd? He was
Todd who ruined your life.
Well, no, everybody has a job, and you got to do your job. You don't have to like your job. Especially, you're lucky to have a job during what's going on in the country right now.
This is Fancy Face Todd.
He worked for Fancy Face. We had the Gravy Lovers, Gravy Lovers not, whatever. It ended up being Cat Cuddling Club. And that's neither here nor there. I ain't going to get point fingers. It's behind us now. Why do that? But I would say definitely at the beginning of all this, Todd and I had a disagreement. We weren't seeing eye to eye on just about anything, I don't guess. He was irritating the hell out of me. I'll be honest. Why you got to turn my Gravy Club into a cat club? And nothing against cats. I like cats just fine. But again, he's just doing his job. Fancy Face is who he's working for. So I put the blame on him, because after dealing with Todd and talking with him, and I guess helping him sort out his life, he gives me, I wasn't trying to do that, but he gave me the credit for that. And bless his heart, I want to say right now, he and Kathy are back together, a loving wife. Greg and Tanya, his children, they're all together. And if I had to be just a little tiny part of that to bring a family together like that, then so be it. I'm flattered that anybody would, pay attention to anything I did. But I guess I did pay the $700 originally for the Cat Cuddling theme song recorded at Church Productions. Miss Gwen Daisy Lay, beautiful voice on there, had to go back. He said, well, let's change it around a little bit. He told me what kind of situation he's in, told me what kind of trouble he's in. So how can I get to? And I said, does she listen to this thing that we do here? He said, no, hell no, she don't listen to that. And I said, would she? He said, maybe she might. And I said, well, just, come on here and tell her how much you love her. He said, I can't do that. Fancy feast reasons. He couldn't do it. So we come around. He added a little thing to the song there. He gave me $120, took off subtract from the $700 cost for Miss Gwen Daisy Lay, and she just sang his heart out, his heart, not her heart. She interpreted Todd's heart and said, Kathy, I'm so sorry, Kathy, and she heard it. She did hear it. Somebody told her to listen to this, and well, they're back together, bless their hearts, and I'm thrilled for it. I'm happy for it. And especially in these days, people, aren't getting along for a lot of reasons, whether it's politics or wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, or any little bit of that, getting people to come together, especially the division in this country right now. I'm proud to be, even if it's just a tiny little part of it, I'm happy to be that way. And it turns out he's not even working at Fancy Feast anymore. He decided he didn't leave them, so that left the Cat Cuddling Club up to its own devices as of now. And right now, Killian turned it into Gravyaholics Anonymous. That's not my sponsor, though, but now it's back to Gravy, and you don't have to have a cat there again. Nothing wrong with a cat, but Gravyaholics Anonymous is a club. I'm still in it. Look forward to participating in it on down the road, but right now, my interest lies elsewhere
You can't even be in your gravy club because Todd drug you away?
He didn't drag me away. Like I said, I was happy to help him in any way that I could. And they said, well, you know, Kathy has a friend that's having similar trouble, Miss Mary Ann. And Mary Ann, if you listen, I understand you will be. Just seriously, take my advice. Do the best you can with your life. We only get one life going around. And sometimes we all make bad decisions. Every one of us made a bad decision or two. I know I have. And Dunlap here has made more than most.
Well, you really think so?
Well, yeah.
Thanks.
But Mary Ann, I put my heart and soul in this. I was going to get Miss Gwen Daisy Lady to sing it on this one, but I just, Christmas time, my wallet getting tight. I just couldn't do. Todd was nice enough to pitch in a whole $200 this time, so a little leaner on me, a little easier to do. But I'm glad to do it. I couldn't. I ain't got the singing voice that she does, but hopefully you got the advice, and I hope you make the right choice, and maybe next week we'll find out. So I'm happy to help anybody out that I can. They usually always try to give a little money to charity, so to speak, around this time of year, the old orphan toys, that sort of thing. But this year it's all going into church productions, but so be it. If it's doing good, who cares where the money goes? As long as it comes out, people are happy and feeling better about themselves, and the world's doing a lot better. So I'm glad about that. And maybe, Mary Ann, if you didn't hear at the beginning and you're listening now, hang on. Here you go.
Pet and pet and pet and pet, rub and rub and rub.
Mary Ann, if Gordon really loved you, he would have postponed his surgery. Take it to heart, Mary Ann. Take it to heart. God bless you. And, let Gordon worry about what he's got to worry about, and you do what you got to do for you. That's where we're at. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you. Glad I can help out just the tiniest bit. Lord knows I'm happy to do so. And let me know what else I can do. I'll if it ain't too much. If it's just saying something, I'm happy to do it on here. I never thought saying anything on here mattered to much of anything, but I guess it taught me a lesson.
How much are you in the hole now, just helping Todd out, paying for this song?
Well, I ain't got all facts and figures. I ain't got a calculator here in front of me.
$2,000?
It was $700 the first time around. Second time, minus $120. This time, minus $200.
So nearly $2,000 you spent on your new best friend Todd, who's sucking all that wisdom out of your head.
Now, at the start of it, I didn't have no choice. So don't make it like I did it all for him. First time around, I'm mad as hell about it. But,
but now you're in a cult. You're like a Trump person. Like, he was my enemy at first. You're like Marco Rubio. Next thing you know, you'll be tweeting Bible verses in defense of shitting on the Constitution.
Hey, don't ever call me Marco Rubio, anything like him. Don't ever do that again. It's the one time you do that in this life.
I bet you let Todd call you Marco Rubio all he wants to.
He'd know better than that. He wouldn't want to offend somebody so greatly to the face or wherever you're at.
Well, I'm glad that you and Todd are best friends off helping
I
Mary
didn't say
Ann.
we was best friends. I'm happy for him. I'm just getting to know him. I will say that I come around when we first met, our opinion of each other was sketchy at best, I guess. But, you get to know somebody, come around. Like I said, we all make mistakes.
I was looking at
do better.
Greg's Instagram, and he was on there calling you Uncle Jackie.
What?
He put up a picture that he drew of Todd and you. You guys were sitting there listening to somebody's problems and trying to figure it out. For some reason, it was like old Victrola you had to crank. And his art's not that good. I don't know. How old is he? Like 12?
I don't know. One of them's 12, one of them's 16, something like that. Yeah, that ain't too much.
Well, one of them's calling you Uncle Jackie, and he drew a picture of you and put it up on his Instagram. I think it's too young to have an Instagram, honestly, because computers don't do nothing but get you into trouble and download podcasts.
I hadn't seen that. I don't know what the Graham is. That's one of them I don't know how it works. Well, I don't really know how any of them work, but that one for sure I don't know how.
Well, maybe I'll go over and join Gravy Holics and Nominous, and I'll be friends with Killian. We'll be friends.
That's fine with me.
I'll drink all that gravy and talk about it.
I will have to vote on having you involved in any of that stuff, because all you're going to do, we're going to let in there and cussing. Because when you like something that tastes good, you always use cuss words, and we don't like that to describe gravy. Well, I don't want that kind of language in that. Every now and then someone will say GD, gravy, or, it was some good, spell it, the letters out, not, say it. But I know you. I've been in the car with you many a time going through a Taco Bell drive-through, and I've heard all the swear comes out of your mouth when you're eating a burrito, whatever it is you get there. Any good food you eat, you just start cussing. You got food in your mouth. Just eat it, chew it, swallow it. Don't holler. Eating it, chew it. You can't help yourself.
Don't police my food, Joy. If I get me a good damn Taco Bell, fuck.
All right, don't.
Shit.
Okay, enough.
Motherfucker.
Hey, I don't want to hear it.
My dick.
What? That don't even make sense. That's
whatever, I don't know. I'm out of my head. I'm on another plane.
I don't care what it is. I don't like a language. I don't want to plane it is. Don't want to hear it.
Well, that's Todd, My Best Friend by Jackie Broles, a stupid book nobody wants to read.
The sponsor, I guess, is Gravy, Aholics, and Nominous. I haven't had time to go over that. If it's the same crew talking about gravy, then I've experienced it before, and it's good. I guess that's who it is. But, happy to play the jingle again if it gets through to Marianne, sorts her life. If it comes out on the other end better than she started, then so be it. Happy. That's just me doing out of the kindness of my heart. And, well, it cost $500 this time, which is cheaper than $700. It's a lot cheaper.
Don't come to me.
You mind your own business. I ain't coming to you. I ain't going to come to you. I could say anything in a song, play it 100 times. It wouldn't get through your damn head.
Revival, Jackie. I got a sponsor this week that I think you're really going to like. The same sponsor is from last week. The Long Lasting Revival Holiness Church are having Revival. Folks, you may remember that in the news, you probably heard about when they were having Corovival. If Jesus had wanted us sick, we'd done be dead, is what it said on the banner outside the little Holiness Church, the Long Lasting Revival Holiness Church, a little church building that could get sick. And you probably saw in the news that a lot of people did get sick. And then you probably saw in the news that immediately following that, a sinkhole opened up underneath the church. And they said, you know what? This is good. This is the Lord at work.
Well, it's how you look at a situation. Like I was trying to tell Mary Ann, if you could look at it this way and think that, or you can try to look at it this way, and the good Lord's work, like I said, work in mysterious ways.
You never know what pew is going to plunge into the depths below. You never know how you can. I mean, some folks are just going down there to jump in the hole. And now it's church, and there's church service coming up. There's Christmas church service, and the crowds have. You wouldn't believe the line out to get in the church. People out there, I asked, when's the last time you went to church? I don't know, 20 years ago. I said, why are you coming down here? Ain't nobody going to tell me I can't jump in no hole.
Well, did I hear right that they were doing the nativity scene down in the hole? You had to get over it, look down in there. They're doing for Christmas. They're doing the hole.
There's a ledge when you first plummet. There's one ledge some people manage to grab a hold of.
Yeah.
And if you jump down there just right, you can get down there and kind of hold on and then pull yourself up, and somebody can drop down like a little plastic donkey or Jesus, and you set up a nativity scene, and then they started doing some live action people. But the thing is, so many people are falling and dropping, and there's the poisonous gas coming up out of there that's just claiming they've lost so many wise men. They don't even have. The thing is, when you do a live action nativity scene, like you just start to run out of robes. And people coming down there wearing a robe and just kind of like get in the door and they just run jumping down in that hole. And then like Walmart's running out. They're out of robes. It's like toilet paper in March.
Yeah.
You can't get a robe. Christmas Whole-vival. Go in there and jump if you want to. Nobody's forcing you to jump in the hole. That's the thing. It's freedom. This is America. It's about a choice. If you want to jump in a sinkhole in church, you can. If you don't want to jump in a sinkhole in church, that's fine. Some of the pastor's kids are up in the rafters dropping shit on people's heads, and one of them may hit you, and you may fall in the hole that way. There's also poisonous gas coming up that a mask we have found does filter out. You cannot wear a mask in a church. So if the poisonous gas gets you, you go in a hole. There's also the night weasels, which they are encouraging you to bring sausage balls, festive Christmas sausage balls, drive the night weasels crazy. And you're going to want to get down there and see the night weasel is made of shadow and fang, long like a slinky, tall as an almond dog, claws clattering around the walls and ceiling as they circle, their faces claiming the light, save for the 3 red glowing eyes that never stop scanning for your neck. Night weasels, festive Christmas sausage balls, drive them crazy. Get on down there because the night weasels are another good way. It's either you're going to get the gas, an unexpected hole. I mean, it's mostly hole in there now. It's just like a few, you kind of cling to the wall as much as you can. Most of the pews are gone. The kids are up there dropping stuff from the pastor, it's Brother Wink Birchie and his kids. And, he's lost a few, but they had like 9 or 10. And his wife had a few from a previous marriage. So there's plenty. They have a storage unit that they were trying to stop paying the rent on, and it is full of junk. And those kids go in there every night. They're like, let's go to the storage unit. They grab a bunch of stuff out of the storage unit, and they climb up to the rafters. And you ever get hit in the head with a rotary phone, Jackie?
No.
You old. Are you sure?
I haven't been hit in the head with a phone. If it's a big-sized rotary phone, I could damn kill you.
That's what I'm saying. And then you go in a hole. You go in the hole. It's Christmas Whole-vival. And now some people are thinking, okay, well, maybe this is God saying, okay, we told you not to come to church in person, and y'all did it anyway. So then I opened up a sinkhole, and y'all come anyway. Then I give you the poisonous gas, and y'all come anyway. Then I give you the night weasels. Come up out of the depths of the sinkhole.
That part there makes me question. That's so everything else seems like, well, good Lord may want to do this or that. When it gets to the night weasels, I don't see. I go read the book of Job. Who's me? It ain't for me to question the Lord.
Well, Brother Wink Birchie says, okay, if God is telling us He does not want us to worship Him in person, we are not going to let God tell us how to worship. We are here to worship God in the best way that we know how. And if God is trying to get in the way of that, nope. Sorry, God. This is still America. There's still rules about who can tell us nothing. And the rule is nobody.
Well, yeah, that's true, yeah.
And if you don't want to go to Whole-vival at the hole, they've changed also Holiness Church. They did change the sign, although it fell into the hole. But it was Long Lasting Revival Holiness Church. They changed it to Holy, Holey. But that sign didn't last long. It also got some of the hillside and most of the parking lot. It's kind of hard to get over to it now, but it ain't stopping people. Just crowds of people out there waiting to get in there and plunge into the depths below, falling sightlessly, shrieking, tumbling down to hell to take the fight to the devil. But if you don't want to go there, go on over. Jackie, do you remember that store? It was right off the square. Had all the bells and whistles. The bells and whistles store.
Bells and whistles, yeah.
Yeah. It was between the Buy and Smoke and Dippy's Pizza Hand.
It wasn't Snake Bells, was it?
No. It was all the. It was
like Snake Bells.
All the bells and whistles. Well, that place long gone, but a sinkhole opened up in that shopping center, and it's got that. They don't know what Dippy's Pizza Hand don't know what they're going to do because like if this hole gets much bigger, we're going to have to move out of here. Luckily, coronavirus has really hurt our business, but we still try to sneak as many people as we can fit in here, feed them maskless or delicious Dippy Pizza Hand. And the Buy and Smoke also, they said he lost a few cartons because I guess it's back in his storeroom. But the First Holiness Church, brand new church, another Holiness Church, they started spelling Holey right from the beginning, so there's no confusion. First Holiness Church of where they're probably going to come out at. Because they think that everybody jumping in this hole is not going to hell or plunging to their deaths. They think they're all going to get shot out right there at that hole under the former Bells and Whistle store. Which could happen. I don't know. I don't know how sinkhole.
Well, have they seen anybody over there? Have they seen it happen? Or are they just guessing?
Well, somebody said they drove by one night and that somebody was standing in there with a fake beard and a robe and a staff, like they was a shepherd. And they were like, "Oh shit, that's damn nativity scene." And then they drove back around and they were gone. So they're like, well, maybe what happened was they jumped in the hole dressed as a shepherd and they come out the other end and they're like, oh, this isn't what I wanted to happen. And they jump back in the hole. And I don't know what happens then. Do they come back out at the church? The first church? The long-lasting revival, Holy L-E-Y church in this church?
Well, I remember years ago when I went, of course, I ain't going now, Dippy's Pizza, that around holiday time, I don't know if they still do this or not, their employees would dress up like all of them, because of Christmas and whatnot. So it could have been one of them wandering around.
Oh, that could be.
If they're still doing it. I don't know if they still do it or not.
Man, they're high as hell, Dippy's Pizza Hand. Everybody's high as hell, Dippy's Pizza Hand. All them kids that work there are high as hell.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Also, if you want to, you can shove people in.
What?
I mean, it's still America, ain't it? Yes, of course you can shove somebody in a sinkhole at church.
Pet and pet and pet and pet, rub and rub and rub.
Mary Ann, if Gordon really loved you, he would have postponed his surgery.